I watch so you don't have to.
And here is the host of the 2022 Reels, Joe from ReelShift. Thank you. Welcome to the 2022 Reely Awards, the only movie award show that you need to be watching. I gotta be honest with you, this is one of my favorite things to do all year. It gives me the opportunity to look back at the good, the bad, and the ugly I've experienced over the past year. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, sometimes it's hard being a YouTuber. It's just hard having opinions right now. You ever notice how there's people who judge your whole character based on your opinion of a movie? I mean, it's crazy. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's social media or something else. But you literally can't win. Somebody is going to get pissed off at you. They take it to extremes too. You'll say something like, She-Hulk was absolutely terrible. And people will say to you, well, you must be a misogynist. You'll say something like, Wakanda Forever was garbage. And people will say to you, well, you must be a racist. You'll say something like, Thor Love and Thunder was awful. And people will say, yeah, you're right, that movie's a piece of shit. I don't get it, man. Some of these MCU movies are more protected than Ezra Miller. Can you believe that shit? This dude was choking people and kidnapping children. And WB pretty much just sat back and said, let's see where this goes. Don't want to make any rash decisions off these 50 incidents or so. Hollywood is a crazy place, but in a weird way, that's what makes it so fascinating to talk about. Because nothing really happens in that town the way that it's supposed to happen. James Gunn wrote and directed a DC movie that flopped, and these motherfuckers still promoted him. I mean, that's some wild shit when you think about it. That'd be like me making YouTube videos with no substance and getting 1 million subs off of it. Oh wait, that's really how it works, isn't it? Maybe I need to change my approach in 2023. I don't know. But I'm not here tonight to talk about me. I'm here to celebrate and maybe talk a little shit about some movies. Because after all, that's what it's all about, and that's why we're here. First, here to present the award for Most Disappointing Movie of the Year is none other than Mr. Personality himself, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Finally, The Rock has come back to the Reelys. Now, The Rock says this: he doesn't know much about disappointment because even when one of The Rock's movies fail, The Rock just lies and then pretends it was a success. But these are the nominees for the most disappointing movie of the year: Bullet Train, Scream 5, Jurassic World Dominion, Halloween Ends, and Hellraiser. And the Reely goes to Scream 5. Scream 5 was easily one of my most anticipated movies of the year initially, mostly because I felt like it was one of the few franchises left that still had a pretty decent track record. But after watching Scream 5 be completely devoid of anything that even resembles Scream, it became very clear to me that this franchise is nothing without the genius of Wes Craven. Needless to say, I'm not as optimistic about Scream 6 next year. Here to present the award for Biggest Surprise Movie of the Year is WWE legend and Hall of Fame vitamin taker, Hulk Hogan. Well, let me tell you something, brother. I know a thing or two about surprises. I surprised everyone at WrestleMania 9 when I defeated Yokozuna, dude. And I surprised my ex-wife when I got with a younger model, Jack. Here's the nominees for Biggest Surprise of the Year, brother. X. The Northman, Werewolf by Midnight, Smile, and Top Gun Maverick. And the winner is Top Gun Maverick. In a lot of ways, I think 2022 will go down as the year that Top Gun Maverick pretty much shocked the world. And it became one of the most beloved and successful movies of the year. I wasn't even a huge Top Gun fan going into it, but I couldn't believe how well this sequel was put together. It's honestly everything you could want from the Legacy sequel experience. It reminded me of what it felt like to go to the theater and enjoy a movie and be appreciated by the people who created it. And that is kind of a lost art in modern entertainment. So I decided to add 2 new categories this year because it was such a huge year for horror. First, here to present the award for Worst Horror Movie of the Year, via satellite we have Cancel Joe? That's right, man baby. You thought you could disrespect more movies and get away with it? Not on my watch. I want to send a big shout out to the first ever female Pinhead, who slayed like no other Pinhead before her. Yes, Queen! Let's just get to the nominees for Worst Horror Movie of the Year. The Mean One, Halloween Ends, Hellraiser, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and They/Them. And the winner is They/Them. What? You incel! This is an outrage! I'm gonna be honest with you, there were a lot of shitty horror movies to come out this year, and most of them were legacy sequels or reboots that further ruined iconic franchises. But They/Them was an original horror movie that ended up being one of the most heavy-handed and awful movie watching experiences of my lifetime. Think Friday the 13th without all the fun at an LGBTQ conversion camp. And yes, it is as horrible as it sounds. There's even a musical number in it if you already didn't hate yourself enough for turning it on. Here to present the award for Best Horror Movie of the Year, we have none other than... Francis?
Huh? I'd better get this over with before boss catches me. Here are the nominees for Best Horror Movie of the Year.
Francis!
Gotta go!
Here are the nominees. X, Smile, Pearl, Barbarian, and Terrifier 2. And the winner is... Pearl. Honestly, I don't think I've been more genuinely taken back by a movie this year than I was with Pearl. This was the first time I can remember in recent times where a horror idea was treated more like a film than it was just another movie. And I always wondered to myself why people don't take more chances with the genre, because it would seem to lend itself to doing just that. If you think about it, there are no real rules when it comes to creating great horror. And to me, Ty West went crazy this year with both X and Pearl. And also I have to mention Pearl features one of the absolute best performances of the year by Mia Goth. Not just in horror, but in film in general. Here to present the award for Most Overrated Movie of the Year is none other than Al Pacino.
Hey, who the fuck do you think you're talking to, huh? Who the fuck do you think I am, you fucking dumb boy? Do you want to go to war? We'll take you to war, okay?
Well, this isn't turning out how I thought. Here are the nominees. Hellraiser, Wakanda Forever, Prey, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. And the winner is Wakanda Forever. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where general audiences just flat out refuse to see a movie for what it actually is. And Wakanda Forever to me felt like a cheap attempt to cash in on the untimely death of Chadwick Boseman. And then on top of that, they really didn't honor the mantle of the Black Panther in the way that they should have. Plus, they added all these characters and conflicts that just fell flat to me. And I'm genuinely surprised that more people weren't talking about the massive dip in quality from the original more than they actually are. Here to present the award for Most Underrated Movie of the Year, we have Robert De Niro.
You make one more move on me, you motherfucker. I'll fucking cut your fucking balls off. I'll shove them up your fucking ass. I'll put fucking ice picks in your eyes. I'll chop your fucking eyeballs. I'll send them to your fucking family so they can eat them for dessert. You understand me? You motherfucker!
Just roll the nominees. The Northman, Ambulance, X, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and The Menu. And the winner is X. This was one of those moments this year that every horror fan dreams of. There's something about going into a movie and not really knowing what you're in for, and then being genuinely blown away by what comes next. What we got in X was an original horror movie that created an even bigger connection story-wise between violence and sex than we've ever seen before. Plus, we got a film that was closer to the tone of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre than the actual Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie we got this year. And I just really don't think that X got the recognition that it deserved this year. We've now arrived at the two biggest awards of the evening. First, here to present the award for Worst Movie of the Year is none other than action legend Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm very happy to be here. This is fantastic. This is better than that time I tricked Stallone into being in that movie Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Maybe Sly should make a sequel to that instead of worrying about Rocky all the time. Here are the nominees for Worst Movie of the Year. The Mean One. They/Them. Thor Love and Thunder, Moonfall, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the winner is Thor Love and Thunder. All of the movies nominated in this category deserve it, but when you put things into perspective and think about what the character of Thor should be, and all of the badass stories that they could be telling with him, I'm completely dumbfounded how Marvel could let someone like Taika Waititi destroy one of their most beloved characters in this way. In this movie, Thor is a complete joke and a buffoon. The movie completely underutilizes the likes of Christian Bale and Natalie Portman, and on top of everything, it ruined Sweet Child of Mine for me forever. So this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Here to present the award for Best Movie of the Year is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll give him one anyway. This is Jack.
I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide. I would rather you just said thank you and went on your way. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
He never fails to disappoint, does he? Here are the nominees for Best Movie of the Year. The Batman, Top Gun Maverick, X, The Northman, Pearl, Elvis, and Avatar: The Way of Water. And the winner is Pearl. I'm going to be honest with you all, this was the first time in a long time that I didn't have a difficult time coming up with enough nominees for this category. In fact, I actually added a couple of nominees last minute because I felt like more movies deserved to be mentioned. Because all of these movies had some kind of impact on me in some way. And that does give me a little bit of hope for the future. There are movies like Top Gun Maverick that will receive a lot of praise this year in a lot of these top 10 movie lists. And rightfully so. Honestly, Top Gun Maverick would have been my second choice here. I just felt like giving this honor to an original idea was more appropriate this year. Because that is, after all, what I preach most on this channel. And that's ultimately what a lot of movie fans like myself actually want. So we need to give those movies their flowers when they deserve them. And I say again, Pearl gave me everything I could want from a film and then some. And I think it's one of those movies that will gain more and more appreciation over time. And I want to be on the ground floor of that discussion. Pearl is the result of an innovative director who isn't afraid to take some chances, and a powerhouse performer coming together to create something special. And that's something that excites me. That's something that I hope inspires other filmmakers and studios to take more chances on fresh ideas just like this. This was a much better year for movies than I was expecting, and one can only hope that we'll keep this momentum going, and next year we'll get just as many pleasant surprises out of our film-going experiences that we got this year. See you at the theater in 2023.
Y'all be cool. Right on.